Ufam ci, tak sądzę.
Minsk finds that the less thinking he does, the easier the trusting comes. Wait! You gaze into Minsk's soul and see his foul crimes. You smell the stench of evil upon him, pointy claws primed, ready to scratch out his eyes. I am sorry, my friend. I am at the mercy of your faultless justice.
Chomik też ma ponad 100 lat, nie? Chyba.
If you must burrow through my blackened heart, I am ready. No? You are certain? Oh, such boundless compassion. You are all heart, and whiskers, and cute little nose. You are right, of course. There is still much evil for Boo and Minsk to stamp out. But we need not fight it alone. I have a new face to show you. But it is not a villainous one for the clawing, understand? This is Boo. And Boo, meet you?
Aaaa. To wielki honor.
No, it is a hamster. A miniature giant space hamster. Fear not, you will learn the difference in time. Those villains locked Boo away, lest his righteous gaze cause their tadpole to flee in terror. Now we are together again. All will be exactly as... Boo, why do you use such language? Once more, my hamster proves himself my greater half, and makes the path clear when my mind is fuzzier than his tiny bottom. He says we will join with you, and cleanse Baldur's gate of evil.
Pięknie.
Together.
To będzie dla mnie wielki honor. Ruszajmy.
You have a great many companions already. There is no room for little Boo, or slightly larger Minsk.
No może w takim razie zaczekasz na mnie w obozie. Mam kilka spraw do załatwienia.
Boo and I are most adept in the doing of things, but as you wish. To camp then! For his heroics here today, Boo has earned the most vigorous of back scratchings.
Nieźle. Okej. Okej, dobra. Pięknie. Misk dołączy do naszej drużyny, czyli to mamy zakończone. Elegancko. Czyli quest harfiarki mamy done.
I think you might have made a terrible, terrible mistake. Huh? Chasing rumor halfway around the city and back. Crossing the guild. Wading through filth. Defying the one creature upon whom your very life depends. All for a madman and his rodent. The Absolute threatens thousands, the entire coast. And still you risked much to help one man. I should berate you. But I can only say thank you. Your reasons were your own. But whether you meant for it or not, your fight is our fight, huh? Both of us. To the very end.
Tak jest. Minsk będzie atutem, jestem tego pewna.
He is an ass. I can make no promises beyond that. But even so, lead the way. We're yours to command.
Pięknie. Elegancko. A, co tu jeszcze jest w ogóle? Tu to przejście jest? A, tutaj coś jeszcze jest. O. Wino. Okej. Pięknie. Elegancko. Obozik. Zatem obozik i chwila przerwa na siku, także... No dobra. Zobaczmy, co my tu mamy. Musimy tylko wyłączyć ten tryb. Okej. Tak to tutaj wygląda. Dobra.
The cub speaks.
Szczeniak?
Not so much a term of age or affection as simple old habit. You object?
Nie bardzo. Ile mogę cię nazywać woroną? A, nazwano mnie już gorszymi słowami. Gorszymi słowy? Ciekawe.
And will be again. But now I shall mutter them under my breath. Out of respect.
Dobra.
If you wish. It is... If they... In greener days, I might have been strong enough to do it. I might be yet, with the right preparations.
O! To nie jest Hero. Jak mogę ci pomóc?
Do not look at me like that. I have been content to see the span of my natural years. A privilege far too few in this world can claim. I do not speak of clinging to life for its own sake, I just look back on that life's work and I wonder, is it done? The dead three plague the world still. The city still falls prey to small minds like Gortash or lost souls like Orin. It is every harper's hope to be a light that drives out darkness. But I've lived long enough to see so many of those lights burn out, while the shadows cling stubbornly on. Knowing that, isn't it our duty to burn on if we can? To fight for as long as we are able?
Pragnienie dłuższego życia jest naturalne.
Of course. It is our way. Just as it is death's way to meet us along the path, gently oblivious to whatever it is we want. I spent most of my life fighting those who tried to escape their end. Gatherick, Irenicus, Sarevok. That is not company I would like to keep. In truth, I had put this ritual from my mind. Until last light. Trapped in that darkness. I turned to my research again. What if I was a little stronger? As fast as I once had been. Then you came. And made the question moot. But I kept this. Just in case, I told myself. A final resort. Perhaps you were not the savior you seemed. I had learned better than to think of life as some simple tale after all. There is no guarantee of happy endings, or true heroes. I believe that still. But when I look on all that we have achieved since, I wonder perhaps it is not heroes we need. Only people who are willing to try. I do not know what manner of story that makes. But I do know that without an ending, it would be no story at all. So I will accept mine. When and however it comes. As for this city story, Well, that is entirely your problem now, cub.
Ole, kurde, pocisk to jest dość tego dziangania. Moi ludzie jest bardziej długowieczni niż twój pól elf. O kurde. Nie. Nie wykręci się tak łatwo, Jahero. Chcę, byś pozostała z nami jeszcze długo.
I have no plans to lie down and die. Well, perhaps a little lying down when all of this is done. But I do not plan on going anywhere just yet. And besides, you still have a tadpole in your skull. You are almost certainly going to die first.
To nie jedną mam kijankę. Dobra, coś tu jeszcze? Nie, nie ma nic, dobra.
The cub speaks. Ask it.
Czekaj, chcę zapytać o amulet, który znalazłem u ciebie w domu.
Oh dear. Should I brace myself for some fashion advice? But I suppose you have earned better than glibness from me. It was a gift from my husband Khalid. He was a harper. A better one than me, truth be told. Any idiot can swing a sword, but to believe in the cause with the whole of your heart, a much trickier thing. He died. Alone, in pain, and far too young. Murdered by a mage who craved immortality. I'll not grant it by naming him in the same breath as my husband.
Przypomnij sobie, co wiesz o Khalidzie. Okej, to jest inteligencji, widzę, że porażkę widzę. Okej, może się uda? Okej. Easy.
The quiet, unassuming shadow to Jaheira's strength, Khalid was another warrior who helped end the Balspawn crisis. Shortly after, he was murdered by the mad mage John Irenicus.
Wybacz, mam nadzieję, że nie wywołałem żadnych złych wspomnień.
Nothing that wasn't already there. Fear not. But I've lived many lifetimes since Khalid died. You, twine your life around the people you love. And when they are gone, you grow around their absence instead. It is just another way they shape you. Which is my sage way of saying, I am in no danger of forgetting how my husband died. But I choose to remember how he lived.
Powiedz mi coś o nim, o czym nie wie nikt inny.
Most harpers swagger and flash their feathers to catch your attention. Khalid was quiet to a fault. I've never known a warrior to go so far out of his way to avoid a fight, which meant the few he chose were usually the right ones. And when we were married, on an upturned cart in the rainy Dalelands, he stammered so much. I've never been sure if our vows actually counted.
Brzmi, jakby miał w sobie prawdziwą siłę.
Oh, I'm sure time and an aging mind has smoothed out a few of his flaws. But he was a good man. The songs make much of Khalid's meekness. Quiet little Harper who had to keep a tight hold on his courage, but he had it when it counted. And more than that, he had compassion. When you live a Harper's life, see all that a Harper sees, that is by far the harder thing to hold on to. But a bard can tell you all the rest. As for all the things they cannot, well, I shall just have to keep those for myself.
Pięknie. Dobrze.
You're sure?
Tak.
So Jahira is willing to embrace mortality, the ultimate form of retirement, and that's thanks to impressing her through your actions. Quite the compliment.
Czekaj. Jest gotowa stać się śmiertelniczką, czy nieśmiertelną? No już teraz zgupiałem w ogóle, nie? Czyli Jahira jest gotowa stać się śmiertelniczką w ramach ostatecznej emerytury, bo nasze działania zrobiły na niej... A, bardziej w tym sensie. Dobra. Dobra. Dobra.
Jahira littering the streets in broad daylight. I swear, sometimes it is as if she does not care for this city at all. Fine lodgings you have found, my friend. Boo is already in negotiations with the guardian spirits of this place. In Baldur's Gate, they are likely to be rat-formed and eager to charge rent. But Boo shall secure safe slumber for all. Now, what do you need of Minsk?
No właśnie. Pamiętasz, po co miałeś się spotkać z Tariami?
So dark an alliance sealed with Sentish contracts, cultish vows, and a dragon's shining horde. You think Minsk could forget? You are correct. I have no idea what any of that was about. But we shall simply... Boo! Why do you gnaw at my soft parts? I am trying to... Once again, in smaller words? I see. This truth you seek. Boo believes that Minsk is knowing more than Minsk knows. But it is a difficult thing. There are memories of this time that Minsk does not remember. And Boo suggests that just as he helps with tricksome itches in awkward places, you must reach what Minsk cannot. The parasite. You can use it to tickle free whatever truth you seek.
Okay.
At first, there is nothing. His mind is empty as a still expanse of open country. But then... Your face, the Stone Lord's face, mirrored in bloodied steel. In the heat of burning buildings, you hold your blade high above pale, frightened faces.
No, that is not right. I slew only monsters. The voice said that they were monsters.
A whisper. The Absolute's voice, twisting the petty guild thieves before you into snarling, savage beasts, feeding on the weak of your city.
The guild. The Stone Lord hunted them, peeled away their rotten ranks one by one to lay bare their corrupt heart. 9 fingers keen. That is what the Absolute bought Black Zentish Steel to do. To kill the Guildmaster.
Załóżmy, że zainterwiował baną gildię. Co wtedy? Co będzie miał z tego kult?
What does it matter? Cultish thinking has occupied Minsk's mind for long enough. Now is time for doing. And this talk of evil overthrowing evil, pah! like a many-headed hydra biting at its own throat. Bring forth the hydra, says Boo. More faces for the punching. First we pop the center in blood. Then we show 9 fingers, the 5 fingers of Minsk. Yes?
Dziewięć palców sobie wyznaczyła nagrodę za twoją głowę.
It is only justice then that we put a boot upon hers.
Okej.
A little rest to brush the road from Boo's fur, and then back to our adventuring.
Szybko zaczęłaś mnie nazywać przyjaciółką.
Of course, my friend. Or are we not friends?
Oczywiście, że jesteśmy przyjacielu.
Then you have a sword at your side and a hamster at hand, whenever you need them. Unless I die, or you die, or you do anything at all to upset Boo. Now, does Boo see a question in your eye, or just a parasite poking through?
Odpowiedz mi szczerze, o co chodzi z tym chomikiem?
Well, Boo, explain yourself. Clear enough?
Potrafię rozmawiać ze zwierzętami. Dlaczego nie mogę go zrozumieć?
Can you not? Do you not see his noble bearing? The deep wells of wisdom that are his eyes? Boo speaks of much. Perhaps one day you will be ready to listen.
No wyraźnie.
Boo has a way with words that we lack. All that space in the cheeks, I am thinking.
Dość żartu, ale czy ten chomik naprawdę do siebie mówi?
There is nothing jestful in the bond between a ranger and his companion. Before Boo, I was a typical berserker of Rashomon. Duty-bound and full of my own seriousness. The problem with one so gazing of their navel, however, they are easily ambushed. Brigands split my skull like a sodden wineskin. It was as I recovered that Boo first appeared. He told me that I had felt the great poking finger of justice, marking Minsk as its champion and Boo as my guide. As for the headache, well, justice cannot always afford to be gentle.
Więc jesteś paladynem sprawiedliwości?
Do not be ridiculous. If any of us is chosen by the gods, it is obviously Boo. Now, shall we away? My boots crave the crunch of unvirtuous nethers.
Gdy nasze umysły złączyły się, moim oczom okazały się dziwne rzeczy.
Well, the mind of Minsk is a simple place. Of what strangeness do you speak?
The memories resurface, a lifetime of battles blurring into one. A single constant is Minsk, launching into the fray no matter the foe, be they god, monster, or man. It seems just the barest glimpse of what the man before you has seen and done, but enough to know that he has no right to still be alive.
Ah, wait! That look in your eye. I know exactly what visions of Minsk you have seen to cause you such wonder.
Dokładnie.
My pants. Thrice-laced in the Rashomon style, so that a berserker might split skulls without fear of splitting britches, too. They are fiendishly complex, but fear not for Minsk. With training, he has learned to master the many little knots.
Mniejsza o twoje spodnie, wędrowałeś między sferami, walczyłeś z bogami.
Well, as have you, no? Do not forget that when you gaze into Minsk, Minsk also gazes into you.
O, to dlatego się tak mocno nie postarzył i żyje. Bo był w innych sferach. A tam czas inaczej leci.
On this matter of sharing memories, I see no reason for us to worry at one another's worms. If there is more we wish to know, we can simply ask, no?
Chyba, że jeszcze coś się po tym kryje, ale no zobaczymy. Masz reklamę po francusku? Oui, oui, madame, oui, oui. Jak najbardziej wojownik wyraża swoje myśli wprost, zamiast zaglądać do umysłów innych.
Exactly so. If I must peer
Oui, oui, mademoiselle, oui, oui.
enemy, I use an axe. For friends, there is ale. No, my friend. If you fear you have a question that Minsk cannot answer, then you can simply ask Boo.
Okej.
There is more than a little to know, I think.
Dobra.
Rather huge.
Jahera twierdzi, że spędziłeś całe stulecie jako posąg w przestworze? Opowiedz o tym. O, i to wyjaśnia, dlaczego kurde ten żyje jeszcze.
Ah, you come in search of stories. It is not
Ja nie wiem, nie pytaj się mnie. Pytaj się Twitcha.
But very well. After our adventurings with
Sądzę, że Twitch teraz rzuca wszystko, co się da, nie?
had his fill of godly flesh. So we return to Baldur's Gate for a time. After all, in every city there is a sweaty underbelly crying out for a virtuous scrubbing. None better to wield a brush than Minsk and Boo. Perhaps we rubbed some villain's rump a little too raw. This Minsk does not know. One moment we stood in the city slums, the next, ambush. Then Minsk and Boo walk on the
Ambush.
wild with stone dust in sensitive places.
Okej. Więc tak zostałeś Lordem Kamieniem.
Haha! Perhaps this is the reason, Boo. It is not because of the legendary thickness of my